Can't wait to see you go out there and do work November 3rd. Go out there and kick some butt, man. Here's to Chris.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Time. Back to the weights. Nice.
Chris is about as tough as it gets.
Double kicks, though.
He's always been the guy that's gonna go the extra mile and grind and work harder than everyone else.
Bust it out, 10 and 10, go. Good job.
You know, he's got that refuse to lose mentality, and, you know, once he sets a goal for himself, he just, you know, consistently and persistently goes after it.
Fighting spirit to me means how much you're willing to push through when things get tough. Your fighting spirit is really what brings you through those tough times.
Most of his training camps haven't gone smoothly. There was always something that went wrong. I think the worst was probably when he took the Damian Maia fight on 10 days' notice, and his uncle had passed away during that time. Now he lost someone very important to him and was trying to help his family cope with that.
My backyard is under the water. And then I had Hurricane Sandy that struck my house. Kitchen. Went to the living room. Completely ruined. And we lost our house, and you know, I had my kids and everything, so it was obviously a mess, and it was a tough time. And it's you have really two options. It's either you're gonna start feeling sorry for yourself and mope, which is probably the easiest thing to do, or you stick your chest up high and you look at the big picture. I had a goal when I got into this sport, and that was to become the UFC champion. And Anderson Silva was the champion of my weight class. It was always the guy I was visualizing beating, the guy I believed I could beat. Otherwise, there was no point in me doing this.
Anderson, oh, he got hit! Look at the finish! It is all over!
He put it in his mind, he set a goal, and he went after it. Then after he accomplished it, he said, hey, you want another shot? I'll give you another shot immediately. And he did it again. So, you know, your mind is your strongest asset, and if you have that fighting spirit, you'll always come out on top.
Fighting definitely brings a lot of peaks and valleys, maybe more than in any other profession. The highs are really high. There's nothing like winning a fight, a big fight in front of millions of people. And there's also nothing like losing a fight in front of millions of people. First loss to Luke Rockhold was definitely a hard pill for me to swallow. My first loss of my career.
The difference between MMA and every other sport is that you have 8 weeks to prepare him for a fight. Win or lose, you don't get to go in the game the next day to correct it. You know what I mean? You have to wait for months and months.
That was a dark time for him. And when he, you know, pulled through out of that and was like, okay, I'm gonna focus, I'm gonna get back in the gym, that was one loss. I'm gonna get it back, I'm gonna get my title back. They give him the rematch, and 2 weeks before the fight, he's in so much pain, he goes to the doctor and he has a herniated disc, and then they tell him, you can't fight.
Then I had a second loss, and I had a third loss in a row. So that was the bottom of my career, I think, at that point. Really gave me a lot of humility, and you know, I was in the trenches. From that, I've learned so much, and I became so much better to now my next goal is to, again, to win the UFC middleweight belt.
Fighting spirit means to me someone who has to go through tough times and they get through it and they're better off for it. I think at this point, he just knows that he can get through anything. He's been through so much, so many surgeries, so many losses, that at this point, there's only up for him.
From being champion to where I'm at now, from being on the highs of highs, thinking I was invincible, and then to the low points, I've grown so much as a person. After going through adversity, pushing through, not giving up on myself, not listening to the doubters, persevering through all that, and coming to the other side.
Hey guys, to Chris, man, you've showed your fighting spirit before. You're gonna do it again, November 3rd, kick some butt. One more win on your way back to the title. Let's go. Cheers, guys. Luck, man.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you.